there they are standing there and Louis goes, she's got a gina. And Darlie's like, yeah, I know. She's got a gina.
And so you're the adult there. So what are you doing? Are you going?
Well, it took me a minute to understand what's going on because I'm busy. I'm like unloading the trolley or something and they're up the other end just pointing at women going, you've got a vagina.
Right.
She's got a vagina. And I think maybe another person sort of went, yes, I have. And that made me, what are you doing? Stop it. Can we be real? Hello, Simon.
Mate, you've turned up with a bit of a prezi today for the team.
A gift. I have.
A gift.
I choose to stay at the Ovalo.
Well, yeah, of course you choose to stay there.
In Sydney,
they're
when I'm
absolute bloody legends, aren't they?
Oh, it's stunning. When I'm in Sizzle City, I'm right in the guts of the Sizzle at the Ovalo. Ovalo, you say? Ovalo. At Finger Wharf. I mean, you know who has apartments there, don't you? And who has done?
John Laws.
Lawsy. I love that you went there first. I was going to go Russell Crowe.
And all the greats.
Delta Goodrum.
Okay, what a mix of what a good mix
bag. It's a big tent. The
Ovalo.
It
is, isn't it?
So they're down the very end of the Finger Wharf, and the hotels. It's all one building. I can see through the door.
Well,
where
you
they
came
would
in
go.
this morning and you said you'd like to live there as well, full time.
I'm pretty sure I finally discovered a place in Sydney where I would live, and it's the Ovalo Hotel.
You, John Laws, Delta Goodrum, and bloody Rusty hanging out together.
I think Nicole Kidman might have had an apartment there at some stage. It's in the guts of the Sizzle. And anyway, so what I thought was I would bring us the slippers.
Yeah, they're great. They're hotel slippers. They are bloody good.
How good are hotel slippers?
Yeah, they are great.
But
these are... did you wear these ones?
No, I wore the ones I'm wearing.
You gave me some fresh ones.
Yeah, yours came in a bag. They're in a little bag.
Okay. I don't know about wearing socks and slippers at the same time. Like I like how you've gone barefoot. But I'm not getting my toenails out on YouTube because that's not a vibe for anyone.
I have mine manicured every 2 weeks.
Do you?
Pedicured,
yeah. Times.
So my feet are right to go at any time. But why I'm not on OnlyFans, I have no idea. But I love.
Remember, you were going to get on there at one point, and remember you were going to
sit on a
cake,
but not. No,
that never took off.
That's on our Patreon. It's still an offer, I believe, on our Patreon. I mean, if anyone's got, was it 20 grand? It was something ridiculous. It's still on the off. It's still in the offing.
It's a top tier.
It is a top tier.
It was the chocolatier. Remember the chocolatier? Some of the weird fucking ideas we've had over the last 2 years.
Look,
on this podcast.
Yeah, what happens when you're allowed to just talk with no restrictions? When you don't have a boss coming in going, what the fuck was that? This is what happens.
This is what happens.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. The chocolatier.
Yeah, anyway.
With you sitting on a chocolate cake.
And the offer to MC a wedding in Dubai for $2 million still stands as well, just in case anybody. $2 million.
Oh, but we had, I know that sounds ridiculous, but we do have a genuine one out there still.
What's that?
And that is if remember someone, you were going to be the wedding singer.
Yeah.
Because you were like, a wedding singer would be a great gig.
Yeah, I'd love to be a wedding singer. I love
So that's still on offer.
That's on offer?
Yeah. And that fee's not that high.
No.
Because you can't sing. Well, no, you can.
I can sing.
You can sing.
Really well, probably. I've just never sung in public, so who knows how the nerves are going to affect the vocal cords. But at home, amaze. Anyway, what I wanted to mention to you is that I'm here in the Sizzle City today, and every time I'm here lately, it's raining like crazy. Yeah. And of course, it doesn't bother me because I'm from Melbourne, but everyone goes, oh my God, I'm sorry about the rain. The Uber driver, the ladies at the hotel.
I text you to say it's raining to let you know. Don't bring whatever you need to bring.
Don't wear your clacky mules, it's raining. I was like...
Well, no, because I was worried you were going to wear the Crocs again. And the Crocs in the
Crocs
wet.
Are fine in the rain. They're great because they're non-slip.
Yeah, but I mean...
They're non-slip, girl. I mean, you're going to get wet. This is what you don't understand. I live in Melbourne where we go, I'm going to get a bit wet today, and I don't care. Most of us don't even have umbrellas. That's how hard we are.
In Melbourne?
Yeah, no, don't have an umbrella. Today, as I was leaving the hotel, they gave me an Ovalo umbrella. I was like, oh, amateurs. But thanks. But it's really fine. Like, I'm walking from here to the car on the curb. But I did want to point out to you it's the annual Most Livable Cities report has come out.
Melbourne always does very well with this, but I feel like it wouldn't have done well this year, and I'm just because I don't know this list.
Why?
Because of your land tax issues that are going on in Melbourne.
Oh God!
Does that bring the list? Does that bring it down? Because it's not livable if it's expensive to have a house there.
Are you joking? Sydney's on the list. It's the most unlivable city in the fucking world.
I live here.
how I do not know. I mean, I don't know how you afford to live in Sydney and be married to Yulia. I really do.
I mean, two great questions. Two bloody great questions.
You afford to have a hot young Russian wife and live in Sydney.
Yeah, I ask myself that question sometimes too.
Buggered if I know. But no, well,
Magic.
Melbourne has beaten Sydney again. Exciting times for Melbourne. It's
because it's more affordable.
No,
culture.
Mate,
you've got culture. You've got coffee. I get it. You've got the sport going on down there. Like you've got the tennis.
We've got it all. You've got the
cricket. You've got the MCG. You've got the AFL.
And you've said before, service is friendlier in Melbourne. People are friendlier. Chat to you in Melbourne.
I don't know. Actually, this is an interesting thing that I don't know if you're noticing this at the moment when it comes to livable cities. And I don't know if this is happening in Melbourne, but I'm finding there's a bit of anger in the streets at the moment. Like there's a bit of lots of honking, a lot more honking going on at the moment. Like, you know how in New York, it's like an angry city with lots of honking and lots of, I'm walking here and all that kind of gear, right? I feel like that's starting to creep into Sydney. I'm not sure if it's happening in Melbourne, but it seems to be like everyone's getting a little bit antsy.
We're very aggressive drivers in Melbourne. So my Christ.
Well, you've got the confusing bloody trams. But
my favourite element of traffic in Melbourne that I've only recently discovered doesn't happen around the world is that when you're entering a freeway, and you've got to speed up to get from 60 to 100 in this period of time, not only do you have to speed up and get on the ramp and see who's already on the freeway, but what we like to do is we like to have 2 lanes at the beginning of that ramp. Yeah. And then at some point, they have to merge.
Yeah.
So you're looking for this bloke, you're looking to see who's already on the freeway, you're trying to get up to the speed. And so we treat that as a challenge, as a race.
Yeah.
So that's an unspoken
race.
Test. Yeah, it's brilliant, where you just...
The driving test.
You get onto the ramp and you look to your side and you go, ooh, yep, I can take them. And it's not easy in the Craptiva, I have to say. That thing has a real think about it when you put the foot down. It really goes, are you sure?
Well, that's because there's cobwebs everywhere.
No, that doesn't...
I feel like the cobwebs are in the engine as well as on the mirrors. Like, I remember we had to reverse the car. I remember we got in trouble at the Airbnb because we had parked the car the wrong way. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I just parked
and then we went out there to look in the rear vision mirror. You can't see anything because of the cobwebs that are around the
give it a bit of a... Those ones. I can see. I never drive.
Okay, so Melbourne is killing it on the livable. But how's Brisbane going? What do you mean?
I think next to Brisbane, it's just got a...
No, it doesn't. Brisbane's great. Brisbane's got the Olympics coming up.
Brisbane's fine.
But they're not up there with Melbourne.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, Brisbane's got the Brown. We get that. It's got the dump and burn. I think it's still got
the river fire.
Yeah.
What about...
It's like Perth, Adelaide.
Perth's great. No, look, Adelaide...
No, they're all fine.
No.
I don't have a problem with any of them.
Adelaide is very different to Perth and Brisbane.
Is it?
Sorry. Yeah. Perth, you've got Bali close.
Yeah, that is the best thing about Perth, is the short flight to Bali. You're so right, actually. God, you're right about that. Okay, yeah, we'll pop.
What's Adelaide? What's Adelaide close to? Antarctica. Like, fuck, who cares?
It's close to Melbourne. Adelaide's got Melbourne's weather first. I mean, that's handy. You can just look at what's happening in Adelaide and know that'll happen in Melbourne in 3 days.
So you've checked this list out?
Yeah.
Top cities to live in, and what's number 1 in the world?
I didn't even look. I don't care.
What do you mean you don't? You just care about Melbourne?
Yeah, I just care about Melbourne.
Where that is.
Melbourne's number 6. Sydney's number 7.
Yeah.
Love that. But
okay, so what drags Sydney down? Is it just the cost of living? Is that it? Well, I guess when it comes to livable cities, that would drag it down.
Look, I can only share my personal perspective on this, but I would say, classic example. It's raining today at the hotel, right? And I'm out the front.
Yeah. Hey, so can I just say something?
My mic's dripping.
It's just a little drippy.
Yeah.
You got a bit of a...
You don't want floppage when you're in the middle of working. You know what I mean?
I just want to make sure I can hear. So
I'm standing at the front of the hotel today. Yep. It's raining, okay, and Sydney's losing its shit. I mean, people are driving like crazy. People are sneezing. I'm like, it's not cold, dude. It's just wet. And then this lady comes running, sort of trying to run like this. She's wearing the most stunning pantsuit, heels like this, hair for days, makeup for days, and she's trying to run through the rain. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you don't get it. And
what are you supposed to do?
Wear a fucking outfit for the rain. You know what I mean?
And what's that? So raincoat?
Oh, boots. I mean, something,
like gumboots?
Not gumboots. I mean, I must have 8 pairs of boots.
Yeah.
And just with, and I've got Crocs. They're non-slip. I mean, this lady needs Crocs. To me, that was so Sydney. It was just all the all the look,
Hoo-ha.
all the hoo-ha.
There was hoo-ha.
No
but Sydney
brains.
is hoo-ha. You can't be in Sydney without a bit of hoo-ha.
I know, I love, that's the sizzle, right?
Yeah.
She was all sizzle.
Sizzle.
I looked at her and I thought, oh, girl, it's not a day for sizzle.
Yeah.
Or it's not an
No,
outing
okay,
for sizzle.
no,
if you're
okay,
not going to get an Uber right to the door, I don't know where you've come from. We're out in the middle. It's not like there's a train station across the street. I don't know where she's come from. But I'm like, girl.
I think everyone would agree from Sydney with you on this topic, which is that Sydney is not built for rain. So Melbourne and London, they're built for rain. They know what they
Brisbane's
are.
the same. You know how no one goes out when it's raining. You could go out on a Saturday night in Brisbane empty because it's raining.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, most of the stuff's inside. We're going to eat inside. We're going to drink inside.
No, but then again, like back in the day, I know it's changed now, but there was a shopping centre on the Gold Coast called Pacific Fair.
Oh, Pac Fair,
and it was literally like outdoors. Like it was like
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
That's where you saw
but if
Margot
it rained,
Robbie.
They couldn't. No, that was Robina Town Centre.
Oh, beg your pardon.
Yeah, that
I
was-
always visualise that as Pacific Fair.
No, that was the Robina Town Centre situation.
Shit.
Yeah, where I saw Margot Robbie back in the day when she was she was a Somerset girl.
Yeah. I'm aware of that. Yeah. Before she was Barbie. Yeah. She was a Gold Coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
Some of the greats come out of the Gold Coast, don't they?
for sure. We're looking at one. I know that's what you wanted me to say there. But listen, let me draw your attention to another list. This is one of my favourites. Have you ever heard of the boys who do the shit towns of Australia list?
No.
It's so funny. And I did a little bit of work with them around a podcast they were thinking about doing, but in the end I think they couldn't be bothered. But but every year they announce a ranking of shit towns and they put out a press release and every year it gets picked up by everyone. It's so funny. It's just two blokes and a Facebook page. But all of a sudden, Carl Stefanovic's just being real serious about the shittest towns. It's so great. And I believe, oh God, you're going to love this, the power list, the power rankings of shit towns of Australia.
Now, is Toowoomba on there?
It's not, but it's not in the top 10, but it usually, look, I believe one year it took the crown.
Oh, okay.
I believe one
Yeah.
year Toowoomba did take the crown, but you'll never guess what's number one currently on the
Dubbo.
No, mate.
It's not. Is it a big city?
It's the Gold Coast, and I'm not even joking. And I didn't even realise
Oh,
that till I
mate.
just clicked on it.
Well, that's offensive.
They're just like, it's a shit town.
Why?
I don't know what it is they don't like.
Mate, they've got
about
Movie
it.
World, Sea World,
Ripley's, believe it or not.
Ripley's, believe it or
I
not.
mean, they've got the lot. I love it. I bloody love it. Have they still got Cocktails and Dreams?
No, I think it still exists.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you, Son. Fantastic. She loves Cocktails and Dreams.
She
Our
does.
Sonia. I love the fact that no one who goes there anymore understands what it's named after.
Well, you taught me this. Is it
Remember?
Tom Cruise? Is it from
Cocktail, the movie.
Is it from Cocktail the movie or is it from Top Gun?
No, mate, it's from Cocktail. Because he calls his cocktail bar
Cocktails and Dreams. Right, okay.
But there you go. Son didn't know it. I love that the owners just persevered.
We just used to get pissed there, had no idea where it came
Oh, it
from.
was so good. It was great at Schoolies. It was one of the great no ID joints when I was at Schoolies, and believe me, that was many moons ago.
Well, there was a nightclub there called Shooters. So is that named after a movie as well?
No.
Or what about Melba's? Remember Melba's on the Gold Coast? Was that? Did they just name all these bars after movies?
No, I don't. What makes you think they're all named? I don't
What
think
about the
tunnel
Berlin
was
bar?
named
Did you ever go to the Berlin bar?
The Burler.
The
yeah.
Burler, eh?
Yes, I do
Or
remember
the bedroom?
Burler.
The bedroom nightclub? We should have gone there.
We will. We definitely will.
What about Hollywood? Did you ever get to Hollywood?
I don't know that I did.
That's a good time.
Yeah, I probably did. I was pretty blind the entire time. Yeah, that's usually your act when you're at the Goldie.
Yeah.
Mine, anyway.
Why not? So it's a shit
Townsville.
town.
Townsville's
I don't
number
like that
2.
Townsville's getting a shit time.
Well, it's less shit than the Goldie, if that makes you feel any happier.
Yeah, okay.
Alice Springs is going through a rough patch. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
It's not at its best presently.
Yeah.
Airlie Beach. That's crazy. I love Airlie Beach. It's so beautiful. You can see the islands. It's if you can't afford to go to the Whitsundays.
Yeah.
You can just go to
but
Airlie
Airlie
and look at
Beach has
them.
got some great restaurants there.
Right.
But it's a small strip.
But this is the beauty
And lots of
these.
backpackers around there as well.
Yeah. Well, that would reduce the...
The vibe.
Yeah. I mean, if you like young Germans, it's probably a town for you. Young Swiss kids going great. If you're looking for an au pair, go to Airlie Beach. So I'm just going to say to you, check out shit towns. If
Shit towns.
you're not lucky enough to live in Melbourne, Then,
Okay, what are their reasons? Like, do they give reasons for the Gold Coast
they
being
do.
number one? Like, what are the actual facts that they fire
well,
off
I
there?
can't read them on
Because
that.
I've said some of the great things about the Gold Coast. Obviously, you said Ripley's, believe
I
it or
do
not.
love the Goldie, but they'll have. I think actually high on their list from memory was the number of gangsters from Melbourne who've moved there.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
That's a
I've
thing.
told you before that Hooters used to be there, and then it got burnt down by the bikies. Remember that?
That could be part of how it's landed on the shit list. Absolutely. Isn't that funny? We sent them all up there and now we're riding high on the world's most livable cities and the Goldie is not. We sent all our shitbergs up there and they love it. You can tell by their cars. You can tell by the, hey, what are you doing? sort of go. That's, that didn't used to be a thing at the Goldie, did it?
No.
That was not an accent, but it's an accent now at the Goldie. So. All the best to everyone, but go Melbourne.
Yeah, go Melbourne. All right, well done. Let's get into some secrets. If you've got a secret you want to share on the podcast, all you have to do is go to the link in the bio. You're doing the old.
I'm just doing a bit of pots and pans over here while you do that.
Yeah, what we've done? We've changed the angle on the mics here.
I'm an old mic bloody
tech from way back.
I am an old techie from way back, but
You are.
there we go. I think that's pretty strong now.
Okay, it's strong. Mine's pretty strong too.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, keep an eye on it. You don't want a flopper.
No.
All right. If you've got a secret you want to share it, all you have to do is go to the link in the bio. This is our first secret for today. You can write them in as well. I bent down to grab some milk from the fridge at the grocery store.
Good
My
start.
3-year-old, who was sitting in the trolley seat, pointed and screamed at full volume, "Mum's got a hairy bum." The woman next to her snorted, and an old man gave me a thumbs up.
Oh.
I was mortified.
He's thinking, finally, someone cheering for hairy bums. Oh, my God, kids. Yeah, they're a nightmare.
Are they? Have your kids ever yelled out something about you in an embarrassing way?
I'm sure they have. I mean, Darlie told my mum that when I cook chicken, it tastes like soap. That was pretty embarrassing, but that was only in front of my mum. But I'll never forget one time when they were about, 3. They got each other really going because I always put them in the trolley, always contained them. So they're standing up in the trolley everywhere as we go. And we were at a checkout, I think we were waiting somewhere, and they got themselves into an absolute frenzy about pointing out who had ginas. They'd just been learning about vaginas. Girls have a vagina and boys have a penis because everyone says you've got to use the right words. So
Kindergarten Cop, great movie.
Yeah, right. So there they are standing there and Louis goes, "She's got a gina." And Darlie's like, yeah, I know. She's got a gina.
And so you're the adult there. So what are you doing? Are you going?
Well, it took me a minute to understand what's going on because I'm busy. I'm like unloading the trolley or something and they're up the other end just pointing at women going, "You've got a vagina."
Right.
"She's got a vagina." It took me a minute. And I think maybe another person sort of went, "Yes, I have." And that made me, "What are you doing? Stop it." And I remember my brother once at church hanging over Mum's shoulder and just started going, "She's ugly. He's ugly." Just pointing out people in church and saying they were ugly.
So are you supposed to address it as the parent, or do you just awkwardly, because I always see, parents in shopping centres that are always trying to, try and contain their kids, but also sometimes they just look fucking exhausted. They can't be fucked.
Oh.
And they just let the kid do a bit of...
Definitely. There's definitely...
A bit of gear.
But that's why I contained them in the trolley until they were about 6. They weren't quite 6. But as long as humanly possible, I had them. And when they got too big to stand in it, I made them sit in it. So they're both sitting cross-legged, just looking at each other in a trolley while we go around the shops. And I'm piling things on top of them. Because I don't want them, because they always, and they still do, just run in opposite directions. So I spent years just making a split-second decision about who was in the most danger and following that one.
Actually, I just thought of something. Trolleys at the shopping centre, Aldi, I don't think Aldi even have the chair anymore in those. Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember sitting in the chair as a kid.
Yeah,
right.
fun.
But then
legs dangling.
Yeah, but with twins,
yeah.
What have you got to do? Have 2 trolleys going, or
they do have twin trolleys for when they're really little. You can squeeze them into you can find a twin trolley, but yeah, I'm happier with them just in the
free ranging
in there.
with the cheese.
Chuck them a Twizzy stick. Chuck them a little salami Twizzy stick. Give them something to chew on.
How do you file that
like
one?
Like a dog. Oh God, I mean, I love it. Perfectly understandable, and we all know they've all
hairy bums.
Every one of us has had a kid.
I thought you were going to say everyone else has a hairy bum.
No,
we can all get a wax, can't we?
But I have a friend, and I won't say who it was because
you know that a friend of ours loves getting her butt waxed.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Sonia.
Oh, that's fine, Sonia. So do I. There's nothing. See, I'm going to take the shame out of that. We all Again, I bet Yulia gets her bum waxed and you don't even know about it.
Yeah, maybe not.
You got to keep it clean, guys.
She's got to keep it clean.
And
Of what?
smooth hairs. Those little.
Right.
Anyway, that's very. You just don't know about it because every girl you've been with has done it.
No, I've had
told
my
you.
butt waxed before.
There you go.
I found it a little painful though.
Yeah, in the moment.
Yeah.
But then do you remember your first shower
Oh,
after
it's
that?
amazing, yeah. What about the legs when they get waxed?
Mean.
I had Miss Indy on the Gold Coast wax my legs one time.
Oh, talk about
'Cause
the
I remember
Gold Coast.
Well, I had to be a bloody grid girl.
Oh, you did.
In like 2008, I was a bloody grid girl.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
Well, you were in good nick back in those days. So
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
surprised you got selected.
I don't think you want to see that these days, do you? You know, like I said,
No, but I'm not surprised you made the
can't
cut.
tuck the shirt in anymore.
As a grid girl.
All right.
I love that. But I promised, I have to tell you something really quickly. A friend of mine whom I won't name because she is famous, she was having a shower once with her son. And again, this is in private, but he made reference to
hairy butt.
her hairy mutt. And she was like, okay, I've got a number of issues here. Where on earth did you hear that? And she never did figure out. And he was like about 4. That was the last shower they had together. But yeah. So look, they all come out. Kids say the darndest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our first audio secret for today.
So when I was in uni, I had a good mate, and we're still good mates. And we used to swim at his house a lot after the gym or whenever, because he had a pool. And I one day was driving home from the gym, and I just stopped at his house and knocked on the door because there's no mobile phones then. And we went in. His mum let me in and jumped in the pool, and then his mum came out later, and, you know, she's a bit of all right. So, long story short, fucked my mate's mum.
Whoa.
Excellent time. Never told my mate, still good mates. Never going to tell him. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I love that. I mean, what's not to love about all of that? I love it. Of course, I'm coming at it from the perspective of the mum. And so I love it for her. And
well, okay, I want to work this out then, right?
Yeah.
Because like, you know, your kids get a little older, like in the next 5 years,
yes.
right? And then one of Louis' bloody mates come over and go, Meshel, how about it?
Some of his mates are hot.
Are you serious?
I know, I'm joking. Look, I suspect the difference is I was 37 when I gave birth to Louis. I suspect this
There's
lady...
a bit of a...
smaller gap. And that's my suspicion.
Yeah, right.
I could be wrong. But like, say if your mum was 18 when she had you, and then say fast forward you're 18 or 20...
Yeah.
She's a foxy 40-year-old.
Like a Kat Clark from from bloody, you know, TikTok.
Right.
If she had a son.
Jackie O. Right. Now let's just say Jackie had a son when she was 20.
Yeah.
You telling me his mates aren't coming around to the pool,
Mate, of course.
to have a go of Miss O. Hi, Mrs. O.
Yeah.
Yeah, mad for it. So I think it depends. Unfortunately, it's another reason I shouldn't have waited so long to have kids. Because I'll
then you
probably
could have
never
ruined
get
your
to
bloody-
root any of their friends. And that is a shame. It's a shame. You've made me a little bit sad with that secret that it'll never be me. But
You never know though, mate. You never know.
You're so right.
You never know.
If there's one thing I've
Well,
learned
maybe
in this world.
this is the thing. Maybe Louis will work with someone who's
God.
10 years older.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I'm
No, I like
trying
it.
to, you know what I mean? Like, and then they become mates.
I'm gonna get a
He
pool.
becomes like a mentor. You're going to get a pool.
I need a pool.
Just get one of those blow-up pools, mate.
Okay. One of those freestanding ones that's only about that deep, but it'll do you in summer.
All right. How do you file that one?
Oh, I love it. Perfectly understandable. And I love it and I'm jealous.
All right.
Rajesh, maybe I need another file. I'm jealous.
Yeah. All right. This is our next audio secret.
I've just been wondering if it's just me or the dodgy group of people I used to associate with, but if you have an issue with someone, you can seriously inconvenience them by putting a wad of cling wrap in their petrol tank, and it will be very hard to detect exactly what's fucked their car, but it will fuck their...
I'll take your word for it.
Now,
Heavens.
she's cut out there at the end of The Secret, but I felt the anger. I felt the anger.
Emotion short-circuited her phone. I think it just went.
Now that sounds super dangerous
lost connection.
and illegal. That's got to be illegal, right? To actually fuck with someone's petrol tank in their car.
I think so, and I think that is why she has
got the anger.
I think it's why she's made a point to say untraceable.
How?
Because
your fingerprints are going to be on the bonnet.
Oh, mate, you're wearing gloves. Don't be a fucking idiot. This guy. Jesus Christ. You're wearing gloves.
Okay.
And I suspect that when you try and put petrol in, that it would disintegrate the cling wrap. But
what does it do? Smoke it up?
I don't know. But I feel like when they look
You're
in there,
driving
they
down the
go,
highway with a puff of smoke.
Yeah. I've done that before, but that's because I never got my Kia Carnival serviced. So that's a whole other issue. I don't think anybody put Glad Wrap in there. I just hated the car, so I just refused to get it serviced. And
over how many years?
It blew up. Oh,
so
3.
3 years no service.
Yeah. I hated it because my dad picked it. I've told you the story. My dad picked it. He's like, oh, you need this. And I didn't have the guts to stand up and go, no, I'm not buying it. I hate it. So I just destroyed it. That'll get him. I'll just destroy that car that I've paid for. Anyway.
Didn't you have to leave it?
I had to leave it at the dealership. When I finally took it there and went, I don't know, there's like a lot of very dark, acrid smoke coming out the back of the car for like the last, 6 months. And they went, okay, we'll go and have a look at it. And then they came back out and went, it's over. That car's over. I was like, okay, well, I'll trade it in. What else you got? And they went,
you get nothing for it.
You just have to go. You just have to go home.
I want to know, when they said this to you, what did you have to get out of the car?
Oh, God.
Because I imagine there would have been some shit in there that you had to get out.
You're probably right. At that stage, there would have been a lot of kids' stuff. There would have been a couple of changes of clothes for the kids.
So then you've got to get this stuff out of the car.
Yeah.
Right, put it in a pile. And then what's the next step?
I think they gave me boxes. Yeah, I just got an Uber.
With all your shit?
Yeah. I must have thrown away a lot. I mean, I would have just looked like a homeless lady in the driveway of the of the Kia dealership because I'm just standing there with lots of shit. I can't remember, to be honest, how I got home. I think I was just so stunned that I'd actually done it.
And happy?
I was happy.
Because you'd...
Yeah. And that's what led me to the Craptiva. So, I mean, it's a happy ending for everybody.
Oh.
But, look, there's something, I have some friends like this. I have some friends who just know the dodgiest shit and their advice.
How though?
Because of, I guess, the circles they run in, which means the circles I run in too, I guess, because they just always have the weirdest advice when you'll go, oh, God, I hate my neighbour. Okay. What you should do is, got any Glad Wrap? Okay. And they'll just start to tell you some weird and you'll be like, what?
Glad Wrap, when you think about it, Glad Wrap has been the problem child of a lot of issues. Like I remember at school around muck-up day that we put Glad Wrap across the toilets.
I thought
right?
that's what she was going to say.
Yeah.
I honestly thought she was going to go.
For something so innocent, which is supposed to wrap sandwiches, it really can fuck some people up. Because I've fallen for that where I've pissed on Glad Wrap before and it fucking goes everywhere.
No, because we girls sit on it. So
and then, where does that? It makes a little pool, I guess.
No, I didn't. I've never seen it happen. So you mean you put the Glad Wrap under the seat?
Because you know how good if you get it tight.
Yeah, got it.
It looks like you can't see it.
Well, I could never do it. If you've ever seen me try and wrap a sandwich, you'll know that
You can't do it. It's hard work.
Get my mum. If you want a toilet wrapped in Glad Wrap, ring my mum. A, she's got the time, and B, you've never seen a salad bowl with a tighter seal.
It almost looks like it's not there.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the thing. When it happens on the toilet seat and then your urine hits that, it's like a bloody trampoline, mate. It just shoots all over your pants and you've got to,
So I guess I've never actually seen that in the wild.
Quite dangerous shit.
Yeah. Well, it's not dangerous. I mean, it depends on how acidic your wee is, I suppose. Depends on what you've been eating.
But then you've got to go out into the...
It's humiliating.
I've pissed on my pants. How did you do that?
To be. It's not my fault, miss.
Yeah. Someone cling wrap the fucking toilet.
Yeah, look, it's designed to humiliate. And with that said, it's actually an ultimate weapon. But that's what I thought this lady was going with. But she's taken it further. She's gone to destroying someone's car. But yeah, I do know people who will say things like that, what you could do. I tell you what, though, these days, I'm very conscious of the cameras. There's cameras everywhere. I've got a front door camera. Have you got a front door camera?
No.
Girl, you need one because you see some great shit on there every now and then. But look at Facebook. Facebook is full of people going, this guy was in my driveway last night looking at my house. And it's like, I think he's doing up his shoelace while he's going for a run. But everyone's really paranoid now and really uploading all their... So I'd be scared I'd get
a mate of mine, he had the cameras all over the house to watch what was going on.
Yeah.
Went to Bunnings, got all of the lights and all of the cameras.
Donna and Joey have them. Yeah.
And obviously worried that things were going to happen. And the only thing he ever caught on there was the garbo, right? That drove the car, the big truck along. Picked up the bin. The bin went into right into the back of the truck, and then it just drove off with his bin.
Just left with their bin.
Yeah.
Well, that's still handy. Handy to take to the council to say, I need a new bin. And they go, why? You cooking meth in the old one? You can go, no, actually, smart ass.
Yeah, you guys stole it.
See, I can get pretty...
But I mean, really, that's for how much are you spending on cameras? And that's the thing you're catching. It's like, that's not really worth it.
The front door one's good because you can see, like I could answer my front door from here. If an Amazon driver...
No, you can't. Because I remember... You were bragging about this last time.
Mine's not charged at the moment. No,
you were bragging about this one time.
Yeah.
And you're like, mate, I'll just open the door for the kids. No worries.
Yeah,
and then you were yelling into the phone, Louie! Louie! And I was like, mate, this is not... Just give him the fucking keys, mate.
Louie and I aren't an ultimate problem-solving combination. I will give you that. If Darley's not around, we are in trouble. I will tell you that. For a lot of reasons, we're not compatible when it comes to problem solving. So, yeah, that was an issue. But I can answer the door when it's charged. If someone hits my doorbell,
you can see who's there.
I can see, and I can go, hi, just leave the parcel there and pretend I'm, in the
inside
laundry or something.
Yeah.
And so you can do that. And then that just catches movement when someone moves past. I wouldn't work with Louie, obviously, because he'd be confused about where the voice was coming from. And then I'd get angry, and then he'd go, oh, I'm overwhelmed. And then I'd get even angrier. And, so we're not exactly.
All right, let's get into our next audio secret.
I was really into my yoga and living in the UK.
Yes.
And I also loved a salad at lunchtime and loved to put, the odd spring onion in there, which didn't love me. And anyway, decided I was going to go to this yoga class after work and had eaten these spring onions at lunchtime and my tummy just blew up like a balloon. And I get into the yoga class and my tummy's just like bloating and bloating and bloating, and I'm trying as hard as I can to hold everything in. And we got to the latter part of the class where it was fucking forward bends, and this is in England where they're super stuffy and toilet humour is just not the go, and all of a sudden it's like forward bend over, touch your toes, and my tummy just gave out, and this thing came out of me like a scream, like a child that had a thumbtack injected into its foot, just screamed, and the yoga teacher jumped, and no one would speak to me after that.
A screaming ass.
That's
you don't want to have a scream. When your ass is screaming, that's not a good time. Let it out.
I'm picturing, a balloon when you let the air out, but you hold it real tight. Like that.
Yeah.
God. I mean, look, I will say, though, there's so many points at which you could have avoided it. A, you could have not done yoga that day. B, when everyone else is bending over, sometimes you can go, I'm just taking a break, and they'll go, just lie on your mat. But the other thing is, in Australia, I don't go to yoga a lot. I hate it. But I know that if you fart in class, the teacher will go, no worries, it's natural. That's just our body.
Yeah, but it's still embarrassing. That's the thing. This is the problem with yoga. I've done yoga before as well. Get some music going.
Yes.
Because the thing is, at least when you go to the gym,
yes,
right, or you go to F45 or one of those places, there's really loud music. You can fart your way through that. No one knows.
Yeah.
I'll smell it, but they don't know where it came from.
So true.
But in these yoga classes, they've always got the lightest Balinese type of music.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I love that
But if you
music.
need to fart, it's the worst because you're like you almost want to yell out, turn it up.
In my experience, if you giggle, you're a bit shamed. Like they're just all a bit like, oh. I mean, it's just your body. Like they treat
Mate,
you like you're a bit pathetic.
Can you imagine you and
just
I at the back of a
fart.
yoga class? If one of us farted, we would be we'd be in stitches, fucking slapping the ground.
I have been because
And I'd be going, it was her.
I'm so immature about farting. So when someone's farted in yoga, I have just. My chest has been as full as your tummy that day with laughter, and I've just tried to, because everyone else is just so cool about it.
Screaming fart, hey?
Screaming. I love that story. I love it. I file it under I love it.
Yeah.
Gutsy move to go. Yeah. I mean, spring onions don't agree with you. You know that. And so it's a gutsy move to go to yoga after a spring onion.
Who do spring onions agree with? Because, I mean,
They agree with me. I love them.
Well, how's your breath go, though, mate? Because you got to have
Awesome.
some bloody extra with you.
I don't know. I don't worry about my breath. So for all I know,
What do you
it could
mean?
smell like horse shit, and I just don't know. I just don't. I'm not that guy. I'm not this.
What about when you want to kiss someone? Yeah, you need to have some bloody...
Nah. This is my ridiculous confidence coming into play again.
You can just have a... I don't think this is about confidence. Bad breath on a kiss can really make or break a bloody...
I notice other people's, but I don't notice mine. Like I could have... I tell you what, I'll have a spring onion salad.
Do you want to give me a...
And some red wine. Yeah, sure. But I've had coffee. I assume it'll smell like coffee.
Mm.
But if I was out on the tear, the last thing I'm thinking about is...
You don't jump into like a 7-Eleven and just smash some chewy before you go home? I mean, that's the thing. Usually after you've gone out anyway, you drop through a Macca's anyway, and you've got cheeseburger breath.
You do. I love that. How you always associate picking up with dropping into Macca's on the way to route. I love that.
Who doesn't do that?
Me.
You're in the Uber and you're like, let's go to Macca's on the way and get a cheeseburger.
I'd be a bit offended if you said that.
Well, maybe I'm just working this out now for the first time.
Are you dying to root me? Like, really? You're really thinking about a cheeseburger? Like,
I love
24
food,
hours
though.
Macca's. Like,
I
we
love
can
food.
Uber Eats a burger later. But right now, I might be a bit like, I tell you what, you go through the drive-thru and I'm going to go in to find someone who'll root me in Macca's because this is bullshit.
All right.
This is bullshit.
I thought I was doing them a bloody favour. We've all had a few drinks here. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. We've been at the Rose and
now
Crown.
you've got
Let's go.
burger guts and you're trying to have sex.
No, totally. Look,
I like to be light on my
I like
feet.
that you're thinking hard at this time of night. I'm not really thinking that hard. I'm thinking, I need food and sex.
I don't have to think that hard because it's just my natural instinct. My
That's
natural
true. You've got a
instinct
good
is-
brain.
Yeah, and I've done my prep. Okay, I haven't had a big dinner because I'm going out drinking. I don't want a belly full of food to soak up the booze. I want it to really hit the bloodstream. And so I've had a light dinner many hours earlier. I've been drinking, dancing.
I think there's nothing hotter than being in the back of an Uber watching a lady smash a Big Mac.
Bullshit! Oh, that's gross. No.
You can't have any of my nuggets, though. I'm not sharing those.
I don't know how you ever got laid, honestly.
What do you mean?
I've thrown them out of Ubers for less than that.
All right. If you've got a secret you want to share it on the podcast, all you have to do is go to the link in the bio, or you can write them into us as well through the closed Facebook group. We'll catch you again tomorrow.